Initially, when I tried out Solar 3.0 and especially on Hunter, I didn't think I would use it in the endgame. Even after hearing that Blade Barrage with the right setup is the most damage in the game, that still didn't change my mind. This is coming from somebody who used Hunter all last season to guild my Conquer title on an invisible Hunter. I thought I would still use invisibility this season as well. Once I got my hands on some of the new fragments and the mods, the end of the artifact, I've changed my mind. I think Solar 3.0, at least for this season, is definitely viable in things even like Grandmaster Nightfalls. I'll cover two builds. The first one will be with Star Eater Scales, showing you how you can get that maximum damage, but this is more for dungeon bosses or raid bosses. I wouldn't necessarily use this in something like a Grandmaster. Wait till later in the video, I'll break down the build that will be good for Grandmaster Nightfalls on Hunter Solar 3.0. First of all, the super you're going to want is Blade Barrage. It was buffed this season. The setup I'll show you, you'll be able to almost double Thunder Crash Titan damage. It does revolve around Star Eater Scales. Pick up orbs, give you your super faster. Once your super is filled up, picking up additional orbs overcharge your super. This can go up to ×8 to get even more damage. For something like the Duality Dungeon, you can pair this with the Parasite Launcher. This can go up to ×20 for one crazy damage shot. With this, I like to pair on the Grenade Launcher Holster. You can shoot that one shot, store your Grenade Launcher, later on it'll be reloaded for you. I'll cover the mods that I use soon, but since Worm Gun and Star Eaters need you to survive, and if you die, you'll lose those stacks, I recommend throwing on a Healing Grenade. So in case you're about to die, you can get that health back. I run the Gambler's Dodge, give me my melee back, and whatever jump you would prefer. Aspects are running on your mark, but it allows you to have up to 5 fragments when you pair it with Knock 'em Down. This is a key to having your super damage increased, and you pair this with the Ember of Beams. Your solar super projectiles have stronger target acquisition. This helps to have some of those blade barrages not miss, even though at times you still will. From what I've heard, I think the further you're away from the boss, the more chance that these things will lock onto the target. Ember of Torches, when you throw that melee, it will then cause your team and yourself to be radiant, giving you a 25% in damage. If you don't know, radiant does stack with high energy fire and with Fauna Might, making for a total of 75% extra damage without a debuff. This is a new fragment here, Ember of Empyrean. This is crucial for survivability and keeping that radiant active. Ember of Solace gives you more room between targets to get that final blow to keep that radiant active. And then Ember of Singeing, your class ability recharges faster when you scorch targets. So your knife is going to help scorch targets to help give you that class ability back. The reason why this class ability is important because we're running the new artifact mod, Classy Restoration. Not only do we have a grenade to help us stay alive, this right here is crucial. When you dodge, you get ×2 restoration, almost make you invincible. So not only is that fragment going to help us get our class ability back, but we should have our melee up often, so those melee hits will also give our class ability back even more with this mod right here. The rest of the mods we're running, as I mentioned previously, high energy fire stacks with radiant. We're using melee well maker since we are using our melee to drop the wells. Fauna Might, when we pick that well up, we'll get that increase in damage with our solar weapon, and elemental charge to become charged with light when we pick up that well for high energy fire, and then well of ordnance, or you could even run well of life here. But with the healing grenade and class restoration, I don't think it's necessary, but it's up to you. I choose this to give us my grenade energy back to have hopefully more uptime on that healing grenade. And if you can try to get to 100 resilience, it gives us the most damage reduction. I need to find some better pieces of armor. Use the guns of choice. Say you're doing the dungeon, a lot of people are running double slugs with this. I just like having this Callus mini tool. Incandescent ties into all of the solar builds with that scorching that it does. I'm trying to level this up to have bait and switch. That way I can shoot my worm gun, shoot my SMG once, then I get a bonus damage with this. So that's the breakdown to be a survivable yet highest damage hunter in the game. This mod will be your best friend this season for all classes, not just Hunter. But speaking about this mod right here, we could take advantage of this in Grandmasters. So instead of running Star Eaters, we're going to run 6 Coyote chest piece. That way we should never have a time that we don't have that classy restoration. But this combo right here is why Hunters can be very survivable even in Grandmaster Nightfalls. And if you think about it, an invisible Hunter has to dodge, go invisible, and not shoot, regenerate their health to then be able to survive. Well, this we can dodge, regenerate our health, keep our health topped off, and still deal damage, clearing those ads, being survivable and still doing tons of ad clear. What to change, if you would like, you could get rid of the healing nades since you do have double dodges, that you should always be able to have that ×2. And also these grenades do scorch, so we can keep the Ember of Singeing to help get our class ability back with that grenade hit. Everything else can pretty much stay the same. And obviously your weapons will change depending on the nightfall, depending on what type of shields you need to break, and all that kinds of things with what champions you're dealing with. You can free this up to have Molten Overload to deal with the overload champions that you might fight. But according to this spreadsheet, we're only gonna have 2 Grandmasters this season that have overloads. If you are running solar weapons, you can still keep Fauna Might for Grandmasters. It's up to you if you want to try to get that high energy fire going. Otherwise, make room for things like Well of Life. But since I am running the 2 dodges, I might squeeze in Reaping Wellmaker because I'm using my class ability. The next kill will drop a Void Well to give extra resistance with Well Tenacity. So we're running Well of Life, Melee Wellmaker, Well of Tenacity, Reaping Wellmaker, and Elemental Ordnance. Help it get my grenade back a little bit. Along with Bomber if there's not Overload champions. Just trying to throw this build together for this video, but I will be searching through my armor to try to get my mobility and my resilience higher. I will be trying to get a build going for 100 mobility, 100 resilience. So which one I go for Hunter and Season of the Haunted. If you enjoyed the video, considering dropping a like and subscribing to the channel so I can see you later. Also, I will be making some more builds about Warlocks and Titans in the future. If you're wondering how to support the content further, make sure to go over and follow my Twitch, Hangout, or even Lurk. And if you like energy drinks, use code Perception at checkout to get 20% off on Rogue Energy. Both those links will be down below.